Cyber Bay 2025, the inaugural event here in Tampa Bay. Arnie Bellini spearheading this incredible event, over 1,000 registrants in downtown Tampa, 3 days, absolutely incredible. There was a mix of educators and managed service providers and technical people and vendors, and it was excellently run, really well attended. The content was fantastic. Arnie's keynote was great. And it was just a wonderful event. I was so happy to be part of it. We set up the podcast. We had 4 great interviews there. First was Darnell Taylor, a wonderful instructor, teacher at a STEM high school in a county near Tampa. Great insight from Darnell, I think, her very much. Nia Lucky, really interesting, from battlefield to boardroom, building calm and chaos. I was first introduced to her by her TEDx that she just did. It was a great TEDx that she talked about cybersecurity. Really great conversation with Nia. Daryl Highland, Coins, Code, and Cyber, from visual history to IoT security. Great talking with Daryl. He is a visual historian. He loves history and he gets visual, solid items, but it emerges perfectly. You wouldn't think it would, kind of old meets new, but he spends, his days and nights now with security over the past 20 years. Really great conversation with Daryl. And then lastly, Melissa Dark. Great conversation with Melissa. She's trying to help get teachers educated on cyber so they can teach how education fuels security. Great conversation with Melissa as well. It's a great event, wonderful event. I'm so glad to be a part of it. I can't wait till next year. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because I was working way too much. Before you know it, I found myself 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. Took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People think there's some secret. Ask me, how'd you lose that weight? Like there's some secret. There is no secret. How'd I lose the weight? Just one word: discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends, colleagues convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others. Yeah. So you went a women's backpacking tour?
I did go women's backpacking.
How can women fit in the backpack? That's a little joke, of course. So tell me what it's about.
I learned how to filter my own water.
Whoa.
I learned how to look for water, how to plan how much clean water you need, how to have enough clean water to cook and hydrate yourself for a day.
Okay, let's start. How do you find water? How do you know where to look for it?
Well, first of all, I was hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Whoa.
And they have, they call them blazes.
Blaze.
A blaze. A white blaze on the tree is you're on the trail.
Interesting.
Two white blazes where the upper one is pointed left says turn left for the trail. Right. The blue blaze is there's water close by.
And it's a stream?
Yes. Our stream, it's a dry summer. Our stream was a trickle. And so, you capture your water and then you got your little water filter.
And so what's the process? I think I've seen this on a video.
Potable water for the day, for the night.
And
survival skill.
Survival skill. And you just pour the water in and it comes out clean.
You put a filter on it.
Right. And you could drink it.
And you can drink it. It was pretty good. I haven't gotten sick yet, and it was 2 weekends ago. Is that right? 2 weekends ago.
Wow. And how many women do this?
My trip was only 6.
6 women. And is there a guide?
Yes.
And they know what they're doing?
Yes, she was great. She had been a chemistry teacher, a high school chemistry teacher. And she decided to get out of teaching. She had backpacked one night in her life. And decided she was going to hike the Appalachian Trail. through hike it,
Wow.
which is 2,200 miles.
2,200 miles. How many days?
Took her 6 months,
Wow.
going 15 miles a day.
Wow.
This year, a woman named Betty, who's 80 years old, through hiked the Appalachian Trail.
Unbelievable.
And Betty's nickname is the Legend.
I can see why. Well, this backpack trip that you went on, was it spend nights?
Yes,
How many?
just 2.
So you have a backpack with a tent?
Backpack with your tent, your sleeping bag, your clothes, your bear can, your food in the bear can, and your water,
Wow.
and your toothbrush.
Sure. They call it a bear can because bears can't smell it.
Right. You put all your food, toothpaste, anything that smells inside the bear can. And then you either put the bear can in the bear box if you're by a shelter that has a bear box. And if not, then you take it about 3 blocks away from you and leave it in the wilderness.
Whoa. Wow. Did you encounter any bears?
0.
Good.
0.
What was your surprise about the trip?
You know, it was really useful. I thought that the water filtering was useful. I thought learning how to get to pack my own food.
Ah.
I thought learning how to navigate the trail was useful. We had 3 different tents between the 5 women who were on the trip. 3 different tents. And she talks to you about how much tents cost, how much they weigh, right? My backpack I was the oldest woman on the trip. My backpack was 27 pounds.
Not bad. It's about my golf bag.
Yeah, we didn't hike 15 miles a day.
Ah.
I kind of wish we would have, so I would have known if I was capable of carrying a backpack with 15 miles on my back 15 miles a day.
You got sore? Took its toll on you?
I felt okay, but I had been training for it.
I see.
I'd been carrying weight on my back prior to going. There was another woman, her backpack was 34.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And how did you find out about this?
I've been wanting to try something like this for about 10 years, so I just started Googling.
Wow. And why is it important that it's women only? Why not have a man there?
Oh, I probably would consider going on a co-ed.
I say.
Yeah, I would consider it. It was just my first time.
Right.
And I thought, I just want to be completely comfortable.
Nothing wrong with that.
I just want to. I'm going into an unknown.
Right.
And
the closest thing you've come to this is what? Camping?
I've camped and I walk a lot. I hike
see.
a lot.
Oh, you do hike a lot.
Day
Did you have a
hikes.
walking stick?
With the trek poles.
You did.
The trek poles.
Trek poles
And
are
she
called walking
teaches you
sticks.
how to use them. So if you use them properly, they can take about 30% of the weight out of your
You're
legs.
kidding me. Whoa.
So that matters, right?
Yes, it does.
Because obviously your back's doing a lot.
Sure.
Your legs are doing a lot.
Yes.
But unless you use the poles, your arms aren't doing anything.
Very interesting.
So you got to use your body, your whole body, to get through the thing.
And the fascination for power tools.
I guess I was the boy my dad didn't have.
Give me some examples of power tools you like.
Well, I have a lot of saws.
Do you really?
I do. I have a table saw. I have a couple of circular saws. I have a jigsaw. I have a chainsaw.
Wow. And you're
I
cutting
have a
things
lot.
often? Do you make, what are you doing with them?
Well, I just used my chainsaw the other day
Okay.
to cut down a bush that I think it was, I didn't plant it there. I don't know how it got there.
I see.
And I just kept letting it grow, and finally I thought, you're not even pretty.
Right.
You just got to go. And last winter was really cold. I had a small flowering tree that died because it was so cold. Cut it down. I'm going to try, we'll see, Do you know what paper cutting is? Have you ever seen the art of paper cutting?
I've got them before.
It's a Chinese art, and it's a German art primarily. And it's real intricate, real small. And I love it. It's beautiful. So I've decided that I'm going to try to do that equivalent in wood.
Define what paper cutting is.
Well, literally, it's somebody with an X-Acto knife cutting a picture.
Oh, I see.
You know, and when you cut the paper, you can either cut the shape out, you know, or you can try to leave the shape that you're cutting and cut away the negative space.
Interesting.
You
It's
know?
like sculpting.
It is like sculpting, yeah. It's real fine. You know, so I live in Indiana, and it gets cold in the winter. So sometimes they do it in the winter because it's a good thing to do when you're really stationary.
I see.
Do you like power tools?
I mean, I have them. I don't know if I've actually say I like them or not. I know how they're necessary. I don't. Yeah, I don't really. I'm not much of a builder, but
No.
they're like any other tool, I guess. They help, that's for sure. Once they're
Yeah.
powered.
I made planter boxes this April. You know, I made 4 raised planter boxes, and it was a lot of fun.
Very nice, huh?
I didn't do this. I had somebody putting new windows in my house. And so the guy who was putting the windows in was the same time I was building the planter boxes. And he said, one of my neighbors came by and wanted to know if they could hire them to build them planter boxes. And he said, oh, no, we're just windows.
They assumed that
Yeah,
the
we're just
men were
windows.
doing it and you were...
The homeowner did
right,
the planter boxes.
Right. That's a terrible. So, Melissa, we're here in Tampa at Cyber Bay 2025. What are some of your goals this week? Why are you here?
So I came because I'm, one, trying to learn more about AI and cybersecurity. Who isn't?
Yes.
And 2, I'm trying to learn more about AI and cybersecurity so that I can help teachers, high school teachers across the country, integrate that into their courses. In the United States, we have about 26,000 public schools in the United States, public high schools. And believe it or not, 4,500 are teaching cybersecurity at the high school level. If you'd go back just 5 years, that would have probably been a third of that.
Right.
It's grown tremendously. We haven't had programs to prepare teachers, those high school teachers. You know how, you were in high school.
Sure. Long
right?
time ago.
Long time ago, me too. Right? So your math teacher went to college to learn how to learn math
Yes.
and to learn how to teach math.
Yes.
So here we've got 4,500 high schools, but we don't have programs for these teachers to learn cybersecurity or how to teach it. So 4 years ago, I started a consortium at 7 universities now. And together, we offer a graduate certificate for high school teachers.
Wow. What made you start this?
4 years ago.
What made you?
Oh, what made me? That's a good question. I used to be a college professor.
Ah.
I like to do things that haven't been done before. I used to be a college professor. I watched cybersecurity grow in this nation at the college level, right? To places like USF,
Yes.
to places like where I was, Purdue University.
Great. The Boilermakers.
The Boilermakers. So I watched all of that growth. 10 years ago, the National Security Agency and the National Science Foundation co-invested money in a program called Gen Cyber. Gen Cyber was a 1-week summer camp. I mean, there were hundreds of them every summer for either teachers or high school students. So when they co-invested, they knocked on my door and they said, Melissa, would you help us design this and launch it?
Wow.
And I said, yes. You know, this is an opportunity. I've seen it grow and been a part of it growing at the collegiate level. And now this will be like a field trip into
Wow.
K-12 cybersecurity education.
What were you teaching? What were you a professor of?
So I have a strong research background. And so I developed a new course at Purdue called Cybersecurity Risk Assessment.
Whoa.
And we did it, I loved that course. We did it as a service learning course. Have you ever heard that term, service learning?
No, service learning course, no.
So you adopt usually a nonprofit, and you use the expertise of the students to do something good for the nonprofit.
I see.
And so we adopted nonprofit clients, and we did cybersecurity risk assessments for them. You know?
Very
and then
cool.
students really learn the craft. They feel like they're giving. You know, cybersecurity has a big, you know, ethics and civil service
Yeah, it
component
sure does.
too.
Yeah.
You know, so we would enact that instead of just talk about it. You know.
Wow.
And then the second course that I created at Purdue, which I also loved, was an applied research methods course. And Purdue, like I'm sure University of South Florida, Purdue was recognized as a center of academic excellence in cyber defense
Wow.
by NSA. So I was talking to NSA, and we came up with this idea that they would give us some unclassified problems. We would have students work on the unclassified problems under my guidance as their research professor, and with the problem, NSA would give us a technical director who cared about that problem.
Wow.
Right? And so we would have students work on that. They would try to solve it. They usually thought they were going to solve this much of it and solved a third or
Sure.
a fourth of what they thought they
Sure.
were going to do in a semester or a year. And the students learned a lot, and the NSA thought that's good, that's extra help that we didn't have. And then they would take the results over the wall and, you know, do whatever they were going to do with it in their environment. So that grew. It's currently at 26 universities.
Wow.
It's called Information Security Research Education.
It's great that the NSA uses universities like this. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
Because it's a fertile area. I mean, there's smart students, and
Right.
so your goal of creating, you want more teachers to have access and ability or access to cybersecurity and to artificial intelligence.
Now they are going to have to also have access to learning about how AI is either working against securing systems and data, or can work for.
Wow.
Right? How to use it as another tool in your arsenal. So I started this program with these 7 universities.
Yes.
And we've been really lucky. We've had scholarship support. We've been able to provide support for 325 teachers to earn this graduate certificate. Now they're teaching high school students deeper content than they could otherwise, you know. But it's a fast-moving field, so we have to refresh our curriculum. We have to add new topics like AI and quantum. But the second reason you asked me, why did I come?
Yes.
The second reason I came is because we're losing our funding with the reduction.
Oh, you did. You said fundraising, yes.
With the reduction in federal funding, we've lost our scholarship support. And so I've decided I'm going to give it a try, see if I can get corporate sponsorship. You know, $9,000 is all it takes to sponsor one teacher.
Wow.
One high school teacher. And you know, one high school teacher, typically we'll have, we've conducted the evaluation, so we know on average our high school teachers reach 73 students per year in their
Wow.
cybersecurity classes. Right, so 325 teachers pretty quickly becomes 40,000 students.
It does. So why would a corporation be interested in sponsoring this?
Well, first of all, I think it's a charitable donation.
Yes.
They can write it off. Secondly, it's social impact. You know, hopefully corporations in cybersecurity want to tie their name not just to their technical prowess, but to doing broader social good. You know, we think that some of them might want to have their name on the scholarship for visibility.
Right.
We would like to arrange, if corporations are interested in this, we would like to arrange for them to interact with the teacher and potentially guest lecture with the students to give them increased visibility.
Seems like a win-win, Melissa. Seems like they win and
I hope so.
the program wins.
I hope so. And then if they win and the program wins, hopefully we're building a stronger talent pool.
That's the idea.
That's the idea. Some of these high school students, and I don't know how a high school student learns about a field.
Right.
That it's a career option.
Right.
Unless they get a chance to experience it, you know, and not just experience it in a 1-week summer camp. You know, I loved Gen Cyber. I loved being part of launching that, but so many of those kids would go back. It was just 1 week in the summer, and there's no way for them to continue to learn about the field, you know? People make career decisions not because of a 1-week experience, usually. It's because there's the next 1-week experience, and then the next 1 week, right? And they're progressing. They see the future. They see themselves growing into that future, you know? So,
Melissa, has there been anything in the last month or so you changed your mind on?
anything that I have changed, yes. This is what I changed my mind on.
Be more specific.
So we discovered that we probably were going to lose our funding.
Yeah.
Right? I also have gotten a lot of grants. I'm pretty good at grant writing. So I've gotten grants over my entire career from the National Science Foundation, and their funding has shrunk. And so actually I was talking to my board of directors for my nonprofit about 2 months ago, and I said, I don't know. You know, maybe it's just time to say it was good while it landed,
Right.
While it lasted.
Yeah.
Fold up the tent, to use my backpacking analogy, you know. And then we had a graduation ceremony on Zoom for some of our teachers. And, you know, I listened to them, and I listened to them talk about the difference that it has made for them, for their students. And I changed my mind. I thought I should try to fight one more time.
It's worth it.
You know. Right. I mean, I don't have anything in my hand right now
Right.
to keep this going. You know, you spend 4 years developing something.
Yeah.
Started with one university, grew to 3, grew to 4, grew to 7.
Incredible.
You know, and they all plan their 18 credit hour curriculum, get it approved, get it up and going, get teachers enrolled. And you think, you know, we're just getting started. And then I listened to those teachers and I thought, I better change my mind on that. I better fight a little longer.
Good for you. What motivates you, Melissa?
What motivates me? I come from a family of public school teachers.
Ah.
And so I think, you know, when I was young, I thought I was really breaking the mold. I was a college professor, not a public school teacher.
I see.
But I think in a lot of ways I feel, you know, that I've come home. It's come full circle. You know, I like to see needs that I think aren't
See needs.
see needs
Yeah.
that aren't being met, and I like to try to find the funding, the people, the institutions. I'd like systemic change is hard.
Yeah.
Building something that lasts for a while is hard. But
Yes, there
I
is.
like to try to do that.
So you're talking about impact. You're
Yeah.
talking about so given that motivation, how do you measure success?
I told you earlier I have a background in research. I'm pretty empirical. I'm pretty
Okay.
focused on facts.
Right.
So I tend to do a lot of follow-up.
I say.
I could show you, if we were sitting in front of a computer, I could show you a map where it shows you all 350 teachers. I could show you not their names,
Right.
protect their privacy.
Sure.
I could show you the schools that they teach at. I could show you how many students are enrolled at those schools. I know that about 37% of those schools are suburban. I know that about 35% of those schools are urban. And then that leaves just under 30%
Yes.
that are town and rural schools. And so oftentimes we talk about the fact that kids who grow up in rural communities don't have as much access or as much opportunity. I think our education system in the United States is at a low point.
Really. What needs to change?
I mean, do you have kids? Do you have
I do. I have
kids?
two daughters. They're in their 20s.
They're in their
both
20s?
graduated universities.
Do you remember the point when they were going to school where you started getting the take-home notes that said, please send boxes of Kleenexes and scissors?
I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden schools didn't have
Right.
money.
Yeah.
just to
Paper
pay-
towels and yeah.
Paper towels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teachers were taking it out of their
Right.
their
They're
pay,
bringing it in. Yeah.
and they're not paid that
Right.
much.
Terrible.
And you hear teachers all the time talk about, like, we were using, how popular cyber ranges are in cybersecurity.
Sure.
So we built a curriculum with some grant money that we give away to teachers. We wanted a hands-on experience, so we partnered with the Virginia Cyber Range, which is also the U.S. Cyber Range, and built labs that run on the U.S. Cyber Range. The U.S. Cyber Range can make that environment available for just $9 per user per month.
Wow.
That's not very much money.
No.
And do you know what high school teachers tell us?
What's that?
That's too much.
Right. That's unfortunate.
I've got 30 kids in my cybersecurity class, and I can't afford $270
Right. Of course.
per month. And then you start talking to them about, well, what if you just put all of the labs in just 1 month? And sometimes teachers will say, okay, I can afford 1 month.
But still, they have to
But
pay
I-
it. It's just
but I can't
it's
afford 2
outrageous.
months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've just been trying to figure out ways to,
Wow. I'm
when
glad
I
there's
was-
people like you.
Part of this started, Joey, because when I was at Purdue, and Purdue is one of now about 500 community colleges and universities that have cybersecurity programs in the country. When I started at Purdue in cybersecurity, there were 7.
Wow.
That was 25 years ago. It's now grown to about 500. But what these community colleges and universities will tell you is they don't have kids beating their door down. That's why NSA and NSF started Gen Cyber. Get more kids interested so more kids would start beating the doors down to go to college
Wow.
in the field. So that was good. I think it has helped the enrollment problem, getting more kids to enroll in cybersecurity in college. But it kind of created this other problem, which is a lot of schools offering it with teachers who aren't credentialed to teach it. You know? So
I'm glad there's people like you, Melissa. So I started my tech company back in the 90s. I was working way too hard, 14, 16-hour days. I'm sure you're familiar with this, and putting my health in the back. And next thing I know, I'm in front of the doctor. She tells me I'm at 340 pounds. So I gained all this crazy weight, didn't realize.
You?
Yes. Didn't think I was that. Yeah, I was 340. And she tells me if I don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate. My daughter was just born. Scared the life out of me.
wow.
Spent the next 6-7 months, lost about 130 pounds and kept it off. You know, you can't look at these things like a finishing line, right? These are like lifelong changes. When I tell people this story, Melissa, they always say, what's your secret? And there's no secret. I just say discipline, focus, motivation. How does discipline play a role in your life, Melissa? Dark?
I think discipline is, first of all, I think you have to have the vision or the thing that you're disciplined for or about, right?
The goal in mind.
You have to have your daughter.
Right, that was it. Yeah.
Your daughter,
Yeah.
you know? And then I think if you've got your sights set on the goal, and I'm pretty disciplined too about exercise, but I'm pretty disciplined about exercise not for the sake of exercise. Right? It's the same thing with grants or philanthropy. Why do I pursue money? I don't pursue money because I value money. It's because I can do something good if I have money. I feel the same way about exercise. Why do I take care of myself? Because if I don't take care of myself, how am I going to do something good? For anybody.
Right.
You know? So I'm pretty disciplined, and I'm pretty persistent. One could say pretty stubborn. Would also be another.
She says laughingly.
Would also be another adjective that could be used.
Sure. Well, you're determined, so that means you want to get to where you want to go, and you're empirical because you're a researcher. So when obstacles get in the way, you tend to move those out.
Try.
Yeah, try to eliminate them. Yeah.
Try. You know, changing it, introducing something new in an educational system is not easy. You know, in U.S. high schools, cybersecurity is, I told you earlier, it's in about 4,500 high schools. It's an elective. And there are a lot of electives in high schools. The only things that are core in high school, right, protected at all costs,
Yes.
are math, science, English, and social studies. High schools have developed a lot of electives to give kids choice. The bigger the school, the more electives, which makes sense. But all of those teachers have to compete for kids. Right?
Because if they don't get enough enrollment, the class is gone.
Yep. You know, so we not only try to give teachers a lot of expertise, we try to give them a lot of tools of how to generate interest. You know, how to make cybersecurity. You and I are here. We like this field.
Yes, we do.
Right? But it can be taught in a pretty boring manner. I don't know if you know what I mean.
Professor makes all the difference in the world with any subject.
Yeah. The teacher makes all the difference in the world. Right? I went into statistics just quaking in my boots. We talked about me being empirical. Fell in love with it because of my college professor. Fell in love with it. And so that's the focus that we have. See, I also have a background in learning science. You know, and so that's the focus. When I talked earlier about we want to teach teachers cybersecurity, but we want to teach them how to teach cybersecurity. And that's that piece of how do you make this, you know, human beings are intrinsically curious. and we're intrinsically problem solvers, right? So how do you put cybersecurity forward in a way that presents it as an important imperative problem, you know, and in a way that, right, we're here, what's one of the pillars? Helps them see how I could be an innovator in that field. You know?
Certainly.
How do you do that? Instead of cybersecurity is about having a complex password. They already know that.
Right.
They all have a gazillion passwords
Sure.
like you and I
Sure,
do.
Yeah.
And they have to meet all of the requirements. You know, uppercase,
Sure.
lowercase.
Special character. Yeah.
I mean, that's not interesting.
Right. No, it's not.
None of us find that interesting.
Right.
You know, so I'm here looking for ways. Like I was just got a paper from a colleague on data poisoning, right? They're working with inputting false data into different AI, large language models, right? And then they're studying how quickly, slowly, the extent to which they can poison the large language model. Right? So she had shared this paper with me, and I'm trying to think about how I can take that and turn that into, first, a lesson that makes teachers understand AI as a data poisoning tool, and then where they can turn that into a lesson that helps their students understand that.
Wow.
You know?
Very interesting. Melissa, I thank you so much for your time today. Anybody listening wants to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
Well, two ways. If you would really like to learn about the work I do, but you're not ready to get in touch with me, go to teachcyber.org. And there you will see information on our curriculum, on this teacher professional development program, on the teachers who've participated, on the universities involved. You know, if you want to check me out and see, you know, is she really as good as she sounds?
Right.
But if you're already thinking, I might want to help, you should just contact me directly.
LinkedIn, email?
LinkedIn is great.
Melissa, 2 L's, 2 S?
No, Melissa, 1 L, 2 S.
Oh, my mistake. Okay.
Melissa. And then the last name is so easy that it trips people up. Dark. Opposite of light.
The opposite of light.
The opposite of light.
Very good. Melissa, thank you so much for your time. An absolute delight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with 1 or 2 of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypins.com. There you'll find lots of resources and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.